So does it feel good when we created that we got rid of like a whole thing and now it's
great,
like simplified?
That simplifying process allowed me to sell more. So
really?
Remember, I was in launch for that. Yeah, so I just went in, and the cool thing is I'm just super honest with my people. So I was just like, look, y'all keep harassing me about this thing, and then I was trying to, I kept sitting here like, how am I gonna do the launch cycle of all these different things? So I was like, you know what, fuck it. Like after we finished, I was like, it's just all one thing. I went live and I was like, this is what we're doing. Now it's the product and beauty brand accelerator. This is what it's gonna look like. And I have more people sign up. So, yep. And I felt good. Like I literally felt so relieved that it was just gone. I was like, I don't have to think about it anymore. So,
how many did you sell?
So I think I sold like 12 more since we talked.
Girl,
I just put up there. So I'm at 22.
But right now I'm at 75%. So it went from like 42 to 75%. I charge more now, and it doesn't even require my one-on-one time. And it's a lot more seamless process around it. So huge improvement. And even like you said, like I used to have like $7,000 to $8,000 months, and then it went to like 10,000. And this is just like maybe like a few weeks after I started Persuade product. It went to 10K months, and then all of a sudden went 15K and then 20K months. I'm at this point. So now it's like, all right, I'm building it out, and that's because I'm still working through my back end operations. But I'm confident that for July I'll have a 30K month, like without a doubt. And it'll increase because at the end of the month, at the end of the year, my goal is to have those 50K months. And now I have a system around it.
I did 10 conversations, or 11 conversations over the phone / in person, and I closed 9 of those.
That is like a 90% close rate. That is insane.
Yes.
That is crazy. Like,
so it was huge, and just your sales training really taught me like what to say, and a few of them, I think this was one example that you put me on the spot for, was, they said, oh, let me think about it, or let me have some time to think about it. And so learning the techniques that you gave me, really, I was able to close, I had a few folks that were on the fence and were like, well, let me think about it. And I was able to close them on the phone right then and there based off the training you gave.
okay, cool. So you finished Persuade to Profit in December of 2019, and in January of 2020, I mean, even before then, because you were closing people like the last week of December.
Yes, I did.
Right? What everybody says people don't buy, your people were buying.
Yeah.
To make sure we took time to celebrate. Anybody else have a win that I just don't know about that you want to like share? Because it's possible you have wins I just don't know about.
I got a sale yesterday for one of my 3-phase cybersecurity packages, so that was good.
Yeah. Make money. You just need the skill set. You just need to get in here and you need to learn this thing and you need to go. And now I'm finding out it's like $21,000 between the end of April and the end of June, which is just insane.
But this is the thing about it, like the rest of your course I'm going through now, like I'm building a funnel because I know I need more leads, right?
Right.
I'm starting to tap LinkedIn a little dry. So
well, they should be coming from different places. So yes, I got you.
Yeah. And when I started, I was like, okay, my focus is on LinkedIn, but now I'm starting to use the rest of your course to access different funnels or different lead sources so that I'm not searching and I'm not digging for them. So Amanda will get on the phone with you and listen to you, and she'll tell you where to start. Okay, this is where you need to start. Do that first.
Cards in my hand, I literally had to make the decision if this is the life that I want. And just having a conversation about perfectionism, and between you and your team, you asked me the question, is it the no that I'm afraid of or the yes? And I was afraid of yes. I, held off on proposals and calling people because I kept changing things and tweaking it and thinking it wasn't good enough. And that's just not true. I mean, me telling my story, I went on social media and I just got real and transparent. And it led my IG live about my own testimony of trying to be perfect, led to clients calling me and saying, thank you for being transparent. I want you to work with me too. And Amanda, you gave me the courage to do that, to tell my truth, to be honest with myself. And out of that, in the last 24 hours, I literally have called at least half of the cards in that deck or make contact with them. And I've closed 3 paid customers in 24 hours.
Yes, girl.
I wanted to say, like, Amanda, I think it was one of your posts or emails about like getting credit card info over the phone because you had your own blocks and you were struggling with that. And I just had that happen on, I think it was last Thursday, and they are like, this couple, the wife's or the girlfriend's father was going to pay for them to work with me because they were concerned about the money, but they're like, oh, but you know, we should wait till Monday till we get from him. And I kind of like, I don't even remember what your post said, but I kind of drew on the inspiration, and I was like, okay, so you'll be getting the money, and the credit card, is it like, you know, one of those you have to pay off right away, or you have the whole cycle? And they're like, oh yeah, the cycle is a regular one. And I said, okay, so what's to stop us from putting it on the card today? And they were like, well, nothing, I guess. And then we closed, and I got their credit card info and closed the sale. So just want to thank you for that. So things are going good.
Hi everyone, it's Amanda again. I'm here with another client, Mandyy Thomas. She is a financial coach based in Canada with an international client base, which she just told me, and I'm so proud of her. Oh my God. We are here at FinCon, and Mandyy is going to share her story of joining Persuade to Profit and how it helped her make more money. So thanks, Mandyy, for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so where were you before you went through the Persuade to Profit program? What was going on?
For me, I was struggling with sales, with really converting people, taking someone from being a warm lead to actually having them as a paying client.
So what were some of the things that you learned in the program? What were some of the key takeaways for you?
So for me, on the sales side of things, for going through the conversion, it was being able to take someone who had even said a no to being a paying client and actually saying yes, someone who said like, you don't need to follow up anymore, and then all of a sudden getting them to actually sign on as a paying client, which was really, really exciting. And one of the things that when you had taught me was a sale is never really lost. So that was cool because it felt like before, if someone said no, they're literally, that meant no forever. And so that was just proof to me that it did not mean no, it maybe meant, you know, no right now. And then it was just literally a couple months later that all of a sudden she's a new client of mine. So that was really, really awesome. And I was really, really excited about that because I went, okay, so there's actually a lot more people then, you know, who maybe they weren't ready for me before, but I can completely turn them into clients now.
Yeah, and I remember when that happened for you because we had just done the live class on like online marketing, and I had said something along the lines of like, well, why don't you just use objections and like, and let people know like, hey, whatever objection you have is basically just in your head. And then you went on Instagram stories that night addressing one of your market's objections, and by the end of the day you had booked that client who had previously said no.
Yeah, so I was doing an objection for another woman, and then a totally different client came in, and 20 minutes later paid. I hadn't talked to her in a few months, and so that was really exciting. Was really calling people out and learning how to be assertive. And basically I was being too passive in my sales before, and so really just helping me with that to own it. And it really just changed all my calls after that. And I didn't even realize that aspect was even missing before until we were talking about it, and I went, wow, I really need to dive in deeper here.
All right, cool, Mandyy.
So most excited is that I was able to get an agent. So I have a brand agent now. So she's going to be actively sourcing deals for me. And when we had our first call, she looked at my spokesperson kit, which is what we worked on together. And she was like, wow, this is really good. And I said, well, you know, I had some help. And but yeah, she was excited about taking me on because, as you know, they're commission based. So they're like, am I going to be able to make a commission off of you? And she saw it right away. She saw the potential. So I'm really excited about that. Got the spokesperson kit down. I was able to launch a new program as well to help my audience specifically with money and mindset instead of just doing the marketing. So I have a lot more holistic view to my brand, and I'm really, really excited about that.
You made tremendous progress in 3 months, which is one of the things I tell people is you don't need that much time. You just need to get super, super focused and get some help.
When I do my numbers for the whole month, I have $46,000 that is booked. Not cash, okay?
But booked. You got 46K booked.
Yeah, I got 46 booked. And I have 17 banked.
Money perfume. Hold on, money perfume. More money perfume.
When I did my numbers, I was like, oh, you're going to hit 50K. Like,
this idea that you need resources to make an impact. And like, it's helped me a lot also in my nonprofit job. In that role, like I've actually won a lot of grants since I started working with you. Because I understand.
Adina also got a promotion when she joined Persuade to Profit originally. At her, she's like, so I like negotiated this promotion. I was like, great, you know, that stuff happens too. Like,
yeah,
it's not always like your business right away. Like sometimes people take what's in it and then apply it to their jobs and make more money, which I love.
Totally. It was one of the books you told me about that really sealed the deal. Yeah.
I didn't know you'd gotten a bunch of grants too. That's awesome.
Yeah. No, it's like the money's been rolling in because I understand now it takes resources to make change. And that's also helped me with getting more comfortable charging in my online business, even though I had never charged anyone anything for my whole career working in nonprofits, because I'm starting to understand.
Not too shabby. And Julia's booked and busy over here too. And needing to hire subcontractors. How does that feel, Julia?
It feels crazy. Great. I gotta specify that it's a good thing kind of crazy. So yeah, definitely in that, oh shit, I have customers phase, and get myself organized and got the date set today. I told the girls on a group chat. So I'm making it official, and I'm going to roll out the beta.
Well, I just want to be clear that Claudia just made 14 grand on a beta. So, because there's lots of people out here not charging for betas at all, right? Yes. And I'm super excited for you. And you were scared to join Persuade to Profit. Now you're like, oh shit, I have clients.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Like, I had so many things kind of make sense in my mind because of a lot of the work that I did with the Persuade to Profit program. So I've been an entrepreneur for 5 years, but I would say operationally, things have been just do what you can when you can. So Persuade to Profit really pushed me to not only identify who I am, what I'm doing, and who I'm selling it to, but bigger than that, it forced me to identify like what my blocks are and what my strengths are. So in October, when I realized, okay, I'm really good at this, I went to a potential client at the time and was just like, hey, here's what I'm really good at. And they hired me on the spot, and it was like a huge national client. It's a very big deal. It's very exciting for me. But I was able to kind of highlight those things in a way that I don't think I've ever been able to say clearly before.
So one of the things that you helped me with was just really being able to strategically identify who you're talking to, where are they, and then how to get them to respond. And so we implemented a few things, and immediately my email list grew, and I was able to get some people on the phone. And my first client, when we were talking, I was doing like an online class, and we were talking on the phone, and she was just like, okay, how can I hire you? And she just stopped me in the middle of talking, and then that's how I got my first client.
Awesome. And you actually just rebooked that client for a second set of sessions, right?
Yep, she rehired me.
So that's turned into like recurring income just from that one client. That's amazing, because that is a big push that I do for people. It's like know your market better than they know themselves, and then that's how sales become easier.
Just for some numbers, as John mentioned, back then when we first started working with you, we were making about $1,000 a month, and a lot of that was because we were doing some freelance writing work, and because we focused our brand, and because John was able to take more time to take on more clients, and we started reaching out to firms to start working with them, we're on track to make 6 figures this year.
Woo!
And right. So it's, it has changed our lives completely. The way that we are able to give back to our community and focus our time and attention on doing what brings us joy and passion every single day. It's just, a lot of that is because, like John mentioned, that whole focus, we really narrowed it down to just doing 2 or 3 things.
Awesome.
I still haven't finished implementing on everything. So I took different steps, and again, some of the things that you had already shared with me, I was kind of doing it, or kind of dabbling in it, and just kind of implemented the few things again, I'm not finished, but with the things that I've implemented, I was able to get my first client that's like $15,000. So I was like, oh shit, like I'm ready to go, like quit the job. Okay, I got this first client, and then it kind of also gives you that confidence. You're gonna get the second client, your third client, and then with the sales tactics, your mind changes, and then it's easier for you to talk to the next person. Again, it just, those tools and the confidence and the mindset all comes from the class.
So I want to reiterate that the fact that you joined a $2,000 program and landed a $15,000 client, to show people like the kind of return that you can get, and also that you're living proof that if you work it, it works.
How did it feel to start making double for what you were doing in person but online?
Oh, so good. So good.
Right? Told ya.
And I feel like it's just the beginning. It's just like I needed to feel like I could make more, and now it's like, okay, now I can start, like, as I'm doing these interviews and getting these survey results and all of that, like I'm already starting to see what people are going through right now, and like how to shape some program.
For media, I've been featured not only in Forbes, but it was a full feature on my story and how I came into my business. It's featured in Fast Company as well, featured in Glamour. That's just a couple of maybe dozens that I've been featured in just in the last 6 months alone. Other than that, I actually literally signing a contract with my first brand partner for 4 figures. Also, I have gained new clients. I've been able to significantly raise my rates, double and triple my normal rates. And then, as I said, now come out with a signature program that I will be releasing in the fall, and potentially actually start licensing that product to large insurance firms. I'm in talks with a large insurance firm.
Yay! So what are some of the results you've been seeing? Because you were just speaking with Johns Hopkins last weekend. You've done stuff with GW here in DC. Yeah. So what are some of the things you're starting to see?
So it's definitely given me the confidence and also the knowledge base to go after big fish. So I have like all of this momentum working with academic institutions from across the country and knowing exactly sort of what they need and being able to sell that and offer that, and to be confident to keep moving forward and not ever get discouraged, and really learn, as you said, that all successful businesses are really made up of a series of small successes, and how to build that momentum through small successes. So speaking at Johns Hopkins, speaking at top universities in the country for more money than I even knew that I could ask for, and also approaching corporations and really understanding like what do I bring to the table and why they need me and what problems I'm going to solve for them.